Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon. You don't need any corners if you live in a van, Perna. Today I'll give you 3 reasons why the Rams could win on Thursday Night Football, and yes, 3 reasons why Buffalo's bitches could win on Thursday Night Football. Sorry, Buffalo's bitches, it's just the Vikings. In case any of you missed the pounding that was on Sunday. I'll also show you how to not bet on this game. I have a real knack for betting on losers. Same thing my parents said about me and my sister growing up. Rams, Vikings, that's good sports. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. That way I feel like a valuable human being. Vikings fans, there's only one question you need to ask yourself in this game. Is Kirk Cousins up to beating Goff? Do you think Cousins can beat Goff in this game? Does Cousins have it inside of him to beat Goff in front of everybody on Thursday Night Football? Yes, beating Goff shirts available at the That's Good Sports store. Link in the description. Yeah. That's self-promotion. This episode is actually sponsored by BetDSI.com, one of the best and most trusted sports books for you sports bettors out there. Use my promo code GS100 and BetDSI will match your initial deposit up to $1,000. That's American. That's a big match of free money. GS100, my link in the description will get you there so you can lose money like me every week. Or win by doing the opposite that I do. For Thursday night, the Rams are a whopping, no offense to the Italians because I am one, 7-point favorites at home. The over-under in this game is 49.5. I'll tell you who I'm taking at the end of this episode. You can also bet on individual over-unders. Will the Rams score more or less than 28 points? Vikings at 21 for this game. Now remember, Minnesota was a 16.5-point favorite over the Bills last week. High point spreads, always very risky for betting. The first reason that the Vikings could definitely win this game is because LA's starting corners, Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib, are both dealing with injuries. Aqib's gonna have to get surgery on his ankle. Unlike Aqib Talib, Marcus Peters was able to dodge a bullet.
Why do you always grab your crotch?
And just suffered a calf strain when many feared he had torn his Achilles. Now, Peters' injury, according to real doctors, has a 2 to 4 week healing time. According to football doctors, he could play Thursday night with just a 4-day healing time. That means we will see Sam, defender of the Shields, get his first start since week 1 of 2016. The Browns hadn't won since 2016. So I'm all in on Sam Shields getting a win after a 2-year absence. The Rams starting corners tasked with covering Adam Thielen, Stefon Diggs, and Laquan, I am a receiver too, Treadwell, and Kyle Rudolph are Nickell Robey-Coleman, the most aptly named nickel corner in the NFL, Shields and Troy Hill. Now Hill and Shields are decent corners. The Rams actually have pretty good depth at the position, but when your body produces too much spit and you almost die recording a football episode. It's true, my job is more dangerous than actually playing in the NFL. Yeah! The Rams actually do have great depth at the position, but if Diggs and Thielen can't take advantage of that secondary, you should have some major concerns as a Vikings fan. Peters and Talib are elite level players, and even with solid depth behind them, you can't replace what they do in the secondary. I know Diggs and Thielen can have success against those corners in terms of getting open and yakking all over them. I just don't know if Cousins is going to have time to throw the ball, which leads me to the obvious reason the Rams could win. Who needs corners if the opposing QB can't throw the fucking football because he's spending the entire game tweezing grass blades out of his butt cheeks? The Vikings' right side of their offensive line is already a mess, and left tackle Riley Reiff, not to be confused with cute little porn star Riley Reid, popped up on the injury report. Cute and filthy. Reid and Reiff were actually both on the injury report this week. Which would you rather have, a football-related injury or a porn-related injury? Neither are good, but both are a hell of a lot of fun to get. If the Vikings couldn't handle Buffalo's defensive front, how will they deal with Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh and Michael Brockers? I think Cousins will have a bounce-back game, but I also think those guys might eat him alive, and he has at least another 3 turnovers. Either way, it will be a joy to witness in my contradictory statements. Cousins will be great, Cousins will be shit. Those are my 2 predictions. The second reason I think Minnesota could win, or at least tie, is because of the kicking situation. The Rams kicker, power leg Greg Zuerlein, is still on the injury report with a groin injury. Yeah! The Rams will ride with Sam Ficken, who has been perfect on PATs, 5 of 5. Sam Sicken, the best frickin' field goal kickin', fried chicken, witch worshipping, wiccan, no dickin', lady lickin', thigh thickin' kicker in LA. Except he is 0 for 1 on field goals this season. The point is, if this game is close, I trust Dan Bailey more than the other guy with the badass nickname. If Greg Zuerlein does play, then anything is possible. Now, second reason I think the Rams could win. If you get an early lead on Minnesota, they may self-destruct again. I thought the Vikings might be the best team in the NFL heading into week 3. Then, a little adversity smacked them in the mouth, and Cousins went to shit, the running game went to shit, the line went to shit, the defense went to shit, and the coaching went to shit. And what did shit say when they all showed up? Eat me. And they did. If Kelvin Benjamin and Robert Foster could catch, Josh Allen would have thrown for like 300 yards on the day. Cousins had 2 fumbles and an interception, was under pressure all game, so why, even though you're down by 17 after 6 minutes, would you only run the ball 6 times in that game, 2 of which were Kirk Cousins runs? Cousins was sacked 4 times, so ease the pass rush with a few damn handoffs, Mike Zimmer. That is a horrible coaching performance. You know you stunk if Skip Bayless is at a loss of words for describing your team.
The Vikings defense. Yeah. All I hear is it's the best.
No.
And I don't see it.
The Vikings will be without one of their best defenders again, as Everson Griffen, in a truly sad and bizarre situation, is being evaluated for some serious mental health issues. From a football matchup perspective, I believe that the Rams' offensive line is better than the Vikings' defensive front, especially without Griffen, which is a major compliment for Los Angeles. Now, the third reason I think the Vikings could win, I already said I believe in the Rams line. I just said that. But let's not lie to ourselves. Minnesota has a very good defense on all 3 levels.
And I don't see it.
A big reason for Buffalo's success was due to Josh Allen's mobility. Jared Goff is not a runner, nor a gunner like Allen. He's a gunner, he's a runner, he's a football stunner. Jared Goff will see more pressure than I think at any other time this season, partly because of a great front 7, but also because I think the Vikings secondary with Xavier Rhodes, Trey Waynes, Harrison Smith, and Andrew Sendejo can match up with LA's 4th best passing team, which is tied with Minnesota, by the way. Both teams have great safeties, but Minnesota has healthy starting corners to pair with their very, very talented safeties. And the final third reason I think the Rams could win, and this will be obvious, but the single biggest reason is Todd Gurley. Minnesota gave up 126 total yards to Chris Ivory. 70 were receiving yards, and he's half the receiving back that Todd Gurley is. Also, Sean McVay, way more creative with play calling than Buffalo. Josh Allen ran for 39. Again, not that Goff will do that, but for a Bills team without their best weapon in LaShawn McCoy, the Vikings allowed 128 rushing yards, and the Bills hadn't put up a hundo on the ground all season. Shady did contribute in that game, though, by laughing at how good the Vikings made Josh Allen look. It's time for me to put my money where my mouth is, which is disgusting because we all know how dirty money is. Thursday night games always tend to be lower scoring affairs, so of course, when I see 2 teams with good defenses to further back that point, I'm taking the over, baby! Yes! Give me that delicious over. I'm also taking the Vikings to cover the 7-point spread. The Rams are, in my opinion, now the best team in the NFC. And since I said that about the Vikings and they lost, I think that might happen to the Rams. They should win this game, even without Talib and Peters.
Yeah! Why do you always grab your crotch?
Who is officially now a game time decision, but This season has been wacky so far. The Vikings have been backed into a corner, and even though they are on the road on a short week, I think they get a win. They have way more to lose with a loss. That's redundantly stupid. Minnesota wins, but if they lose, I think it will be close. And even though I enjoy both of these teams, I like watching them both, I'm rooting for the Rams. I'm rooting against my own prediction, LA. Because I used to live there. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. I'm on Twitter at Brandon Perna, Instagram at Brandon Perna. Do weekly football updates there. And click one of these videos on the screen right now if you want to watch more football bullshit coming out of my stupid mouth.